Well, how about a new project car? Except this time, it's a little different. Welcome back to the Auto Obscure Garage. Chadwick with you again for the first installment of Project, think of a name on the spot, Project V50. Bear with me. Our new project car is pretty killer. It's a Volvo V50, a 2005. What's cool about it is it has the T5 motor and it's all-wheel drive. The biggest cool factor, that manual transmission, that wonderful 6-speed, really spices things up. But on top of that, we've got a little bit of a challenge on our hands, guys. So, and a purpose. We have a use case. God, we have so many things to do with this car. And we have like 3 weeks to do that. Those are the 3 big bullet points let's cover right now. First off, the use case. I have a rally coming up with the DWA podcast guys. They throw these killer rallies together. Really cool guys. I've been to 2 of them so far. So the first one I co-drove with a Mitsubishi Galant VR4. One that I owned in the past and did a ton of work and then sold to my buddy Frank. That was a fantastic rally. Second one, I took a R53 Mini Cooper S, the supercharged one, and that was an absolute blast on that rally. It was like hitting the easy button though, so that was a little too, I felt like I was using a cheat code. That being said, I reached out to my good buddy Frank and I was like, you know what would make this awesome? We don't just show up in capable cars, because he took an S2000 last time. Also cheating. That's easy mode, dude. I said, let's go ahead and give ourselves a little bit of a challenge here. Let's set a really restrictive budget. Any car is fair game, except that you have $3,500 to spend. That's including the car, that's including maintenance, and any fun mods you want to do to make it perform better. 3,500 bucks. You go back, pre-pandemic, that was a lot of money to play with. You could get some really interesting, cool, capable stuff. Nowadays, that is incredibly rough, because the purchase price is just half the battle. Getting all that work done, getting all those parts, finding time to build your car, that's the real challenge. And also on top of that, I have about 3.5 weeks to complete the build I'm about to show you. Guys, this is gonna be crazy. This is too much. He has his car, I have mine. We're gonna see who did better. Who won the challenge? Who picked the better rally car for $3,500 or less? Let me give you a tour of our Project V50. And this is our 2005 Volvo V50 T5 all-wheel drive manual. This is a killer car, not even given the circumstances, just on its own. These are fantastic. I love how these look. The front end is just absolutely timeless. The killer blacked out headlights, which definitely needs some refreshing. The paint is cool. It's a Barents blue, which is a C, I believe in the Swedish region, so that makes sense. The wheels are killer. I believe they're 16s and they're like this gunmetal color, extra gunmetal-y for all the brake dust that's on there, but yeah, it is what it is, guys. Overall, I'll take you around the car. The body's in pretty good shape. The paint is a little faded on the hood there, a little bit on the roof. No clear coat failure, which is awesome. Volvo's had pretty good paint quality during this period. Down the side here, not too bad. A couple of dings right there is a good little dent. That could be taken out with some PDR, probably, if I have it in the budget. But going down the car, very straight. A couple little scrapes right here near the fender, but really nothing to complain about too bad. It's pretty clean. Overall, it is a wagon. How epic is that? Roof is straight. Sunroof up there, everything works. Come around to the back, everything looks good. We've got our T5 all-wheel drive designation there. Iconic, huge Volvo lights. I love how these are integrated into almost all their vehicles. And they look fantastic on this car, of course. Coming right around, passenger side, more of the same story. Really not bad at all. A couple of scratches here and there. I think a good compound polish and wax, and this thing's gonna shine excellently. Already tinted up, which is nice. Yeah, it's a pretty sharp car. Everything looks great, everything functions well. Exterior wise, can't complain. Some things we will need to address, these tires are just, they're new,
they're timestamped like from 2 years ago, which I never get, and they're Kumos, which is a brand name that's recognizable. Never get that either. But they are 700 tread wear all seasons, and that won't fly on a rally, so we'll get something grippy on there. Yeah, overall, what do you guys think? Overall, this V50 is in great shape, especially for the fact that I paid just a little over 2,000 bucks for it. There's got to be issues somewhere, right? I bet we'll find them. Let's look at the interior. Climbing into the Volvo V50. There's a glaring issue right off the rip, and I'll let you take a peek over there. Oh my God. Where'd it go? Where is it? No, I knew it. Passenger seat, missing. Passenger seat was also not removed correctly. Apparently the previous owner, under some kind of influence of something, decided to take a knife and cut out the passenger seat. Don't worry. It's right there. But we got to install it back in. This is unfortunately a lot harder than the early 90s cars I'm used to doing, because there are a lot of things going on with these seats. You have an airbag, you have a seat warmer, you have electric adjustments. There are a ton of wires. Just check it out. We got a big old wiring hack right there. That's going to be fun. I'm going to have to do that carefully, put all those electrical connections together, because we are dealing with airbags. Rather not have that go off in my face or on the rally. So that's a big job. Overall though, it looks good in here, guys. Dash is in great shape. Everything works, all the lights work, everything functions. We have 3 pedals because this is a manual. Aftermarket shift knob, kind of nice and tall. I'd probably go for the OEM, but hey, budgets. Cool Volvo steering wheel, everything's neat in here. Instrumentation, pretty standard fare. We got a tach and a speedometer. Looks like we got some coolant and fuel gauges as well. Nothing fancy here. We've got that fancy waterfall though. That is fancy. I love these things. Reach behind it, store inconspicuous items back there, but these are cool. I always thought this was an awesome design touch for Volvo, you know, to incorporate this in their vehicles. Pretty cool. You can see the slot there for the weird key. It's like a fobgina hole. I don't know how you'd say that, but everything looks pretty good in here overall, except for, you know, that guy missing. Air conditioning functions. Everything works. Let me show you the back seat. Seat condition, it's okay. What do I got on this car? I think I have 188,000 miles, so it's got some experience. Seats are holding up pretty good. I got some cracking and stuff, but it's not horrible. I've seen much worse. They aren't all blown out in the bolsters or anything, so totally serviceable. I always thought these cars were killer from a design standpoint. Everything's very cool, even the headrests. Harken back to the 80s or late 70s Volvos before that. Back seat, very comfortable, actually, very roomy, nice and padded. Front seat as well. Volvo really knows how to do seats, am I right? And they're in decent shape back here, so can't complain. We've got leather. We've got a huge storage area back there. That's always cool. But yeah, not bad. Interior, right? Ceilings held together mostly, so just some beautification in here, and we got a heck of an interior for the price point. Pop that iconic wagon back, and holy smokes, full parts. Gotta love that. I've purchased everything to build up what I need to build up here. Just tons of good stuff, guys. So we'll go over that in a little bit. Already acquired all the parts. I am under budget because I'm always waiting for something else to go wrong or to find something that I need to replace. Don't mind this stuff. It's my secret rally sauce stuff. Little octane booster too. Shh, keep it a secret. It's part of the budget, guys. I'm playing by the rules. I don't know who needs to hear this, but this manual option is so rare on these cars. Majority of V50s offer the 2.4, the regular 5-cylinder motor without a turbo. Many of them are front-wheel drive. You don't get this 6-speed manual very much, especially with the T5 all-wheel drive option. This is a certified unicorn. Ah, this thing's lovely. Let's pop the hood on the V50 and see what we're working with. Working hood struts, just like the trunk? That's amazing. I guess there's just one strut. Good job, strut. Underneath the hood, anyone familiar with this year vintage of Volvo knows that this is the T5, as it's designated, a 2.5 liter inline 5-cylinder turbo. I think it puts out around 218 horsepower and a 230 something pound-feet of torque. I don't know if those numbers are correct, but I imagine it's still in that ballpark. Everything's stock under here, which is what I like to see. Blue wire running off there. I think that's for the sound system, so we'll have to rectify that. But overall, just a little dirty under here. Battery's not too bad. October of last year, I'll take that. And everything else is, I don't know, dirty. Just needs to be cleaned up. Good power plant. These things are pretty stout, pretty reliable. Oh, the other thing is the timing belt and water pump were done not too long ago. So looks like they were done in 2023 and it was less than 20,000 miles ago, which is huge when it comes to getting a car like this. So one big job I don't need to do, shockingly, not having to do a timing belt on a car, especially a cheap car. But yeah, pretty straightforward under here. There were no modifications, which is awesome. Except there are a couple interesting modifications to the car. One of them being, I don't know if you noticed the ride height. It's more an exterior thing, but whatever. You can see that this V50 isn't super tall. These V50s, all-wheel drive ones, always had a bit of a lift on them. This does have the IBOC lowering kit, which is pretty hard to come by on all four corners. So that's a bonus because we are going to do some suspension mods. Handling is everything on these rallies. Exhaust side, there is something too. Let me take you around. Oh God, this is kind of embarrassing, but it is what it is. So when I open this rear passenger door, you can see this cable right here that kind of passes out and goes right over the edge of the car there. Underneath, and this will probably be better from underneath, but I will tell you that it goes to an electronic cutout that's controllable by the keychain. You can't make this stuff up, guys. I'll show you under the car. Oh yeah, washer cap's missing. We'll replace that. I know you guys know I'm a stickler for that stuff. Got an OEM one, we'll slap it in. Let's get our Volvo V50 up in the air. Let's check out the condition of our V50 brakes. Alright. So yeah, they don't look pretty. There are tons of pad life, probably 75% pad life. So again, it felt really good. I don't really perceive a reason or a need to do anything with these brakes. I will check the brake fluid under the hood, and if obviously we have an issue with old looking fluid, I can flush that out. Again, guys, without question, if this wasn't a budget build, if this wasn't a cheap car challenge, I would throw pads and rotors on this thing. But hey, if they're still this good, they seem like they work great, they don't vibrate, there's no warping in the rotors, we're just gonna run them. There's plenty of life left. Let's dive under the V50 and see what kind of mysteries await us there. Again, I didn't see anything leaking underneath the car, and yeah, as you can see, it's pretty dry under here. Obviously, nothing's been pooling up. I've had the car for a month now, 2 months, so it hasn't left anything in the dry away. Let's slide on our back under there and see what we got. So you got our oil pan right there, looking really nice, actually surprisingly clean. A little bit of old stuff. I don't see any, yeah, it's all dried on old stuff. I don't see any active wet spots or anything dripping. It looks pretty dang clean. Again, no rust under here. This is a California car its entire life, so there's like zero crust. I mean, nothing. Let's inspect these suspension components and see how well this thing has been maintained. CV axle boot. Looks really good there. No concerns with that, no tears. Actually, the rubber looks very pliable. Yeah, it is. So at one point, someone got in there and replaced those. Right here, we've got the sway bar end link. God, that looks freaking great too. I wonder if he's had a bunch of suspension work done, because it does have the iBox springs. But yeah, everything's looking really good. Ooh, you can peek right through that gap. Let's see if we can zoom on it. That's our outer tie rod. Outer tie rod finally in focus. There it is, also looking really good. So not a lot of complaints. Again, I don't see anything. It is freaking clean under here, guys. Look at this. Both sides look good. Refreshed suspension components. Transmission doesn't have anything coming out of it. Okay, I can work with this. I can easily work with this as we slide back. Yeah, it looks really good under here, guys. Woo! Hot dog, we have a wiener. Here's a shot of those iBox lowering springs. Pretty hard to come by here on the V50 T5. So pretty cool bonus there. Little extra handling prowess. I wanted to show you guys the electric cutout situation. So here it is right after the catalytic converter. You got this little pipe that comes off here, and there's an electronic control unit right here that opens the valve. I think there's 4 positions. It's a pretty cool little setup. I kind of like it. It makes the car a little exciting. I'd probably never do it, but why not? It's kind of fun. Here's the wire right here going through the passenger rear door. So we're definitely gonna route that through. Make a nice little hole in a grommet to protect it. So yeah, there it is. There's our
what an electric cutout looks like. And also, sweet bonus, I crawled out of the car, and I didn't mention this, but I totally forgotten, because it's been a while since I've really driven it. Every time I hit a bump, I hear a rattling noise. I thought it was the exhaust. It's actually just this heat shielding right here. So you can see it's pretty loose there, missing a nut there to screw on, and that's it. This is so flappy right there. This one will hold that one in place, and you won't get any of that noise. So already fixing stuff, guys. That's epic. That was the only noise I really heard, but it rattled it. I mean, you can imagine what that sounds like going over a bump. You should get it. Yeah, you get it now. So cool. Let's go ahead and find that nut, fix that while we're down here. But yeah, electric cutout. Wanted to show you guys that. Pretty neat, fun feature for the car. I actually kind of enjoy it, not gonna lie. All right, we've seen what we're working with here. Let's bust out the clipboard of financial doom and see, man, if we can stay within budget this time, guys. 2005 Volvo V50 all-wheel drive T5 manual with 188,000 miles on it. Mechanically, so far. Now, guys, also keep in mind, we might find stuff when we dig in. We probably will. But here's what I got right now. The basics: oil change, air filter, spark plugs, that kind of stuff. We gotta up the performance of the handling a little bit. This is gonna be a rally driving car, so we need to have some kind of handling prowess. To spruce it up, we're gonna put a rear sway bar in. Probably gonna look at like Elevate for that solution. Some new end links. We're gonna get a strut tower bar. Those are hard to source, but I might be able to find one. Some new sticky tires, anything that beats 700 tread wear. I wanna replace the BPV, the turbo bypass valve. It can be a failure point on these at higher mileage, and I want a little cool sound. It's the sense of occasion. It's a rally, guys. We gotta have some kind of fun. So I'm gonna look at a new bypass valve for the turbo, new motor mount. That the passenger side, right side one, is cracked. I can see that from the top, so let's replace that. An exhaust cutout, I wanna do that over. I don't like it going through the back passenger door, so maybe we'll drill a hole, put some rubber grommets, kind of make it official, and definitely keep it in the car. Now, exterior, interior, other kind of stuff like that. Obviously, the passenger seat's the biggest thing. Probably job number one is gonna be wiring that seat back in. It's not like doing an 80s or 90s car with like one sensor for maybe a seatbelt chime. This thing has an airbag, it has the seatbelt integrated into it. It's heated, it's completely power. So we got a lot to do there, guys. New wiper blades, cool, cabin filter. We'll do a full detail, clean it up in there, get it all ready for the rally, find a way to put some tools in the back so they're not popping around everywhere. But that's really all I've got for now. I know that list doesn't sound too crazy. There's some question marks. I like the seat might be challenging. There might be some other challenging stuff in there. But let's go with this. We'll find stuff along the way. Again, as I do this series, I want to put like the values up of the stuff I'm finding. So we'll have a running tally and make sure we stay below that $3,500 threshold. I'll have a running total going. That being said, I want to sell these used tires that are on here. So there might be some ways to recoup costs. That counts. That's fair game for this challenge. So again, $3,500 total all in, gotta be below that with this rally car. And it's gonna be ready to rally. It's gotta, you know, finish the rally. So that's important. Guys, this is gonna be a fun one. Project V50. We'll catch you next week. Take care.